If you're a heat and air conditioning technician, why do you need to get really good at explaining damage and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. So I got a phone call over the weekend and a tech that I know said, hey Scott, I'm really struggling right now and I'm just not closing deals. I'm just not getting maintenance agreements. I'm just not selling anything. Oh man, it's hot outside. Tell me about what's going on. So we walk through a process, we have a conversation, and I go, okay, great. We're just gonna talk about the most basic parts inside of a system. Explain to me a capacitor. So he goes off on this wild explanation of what a capacitor is, and oh my goodness, you need a PhD to follow. And I go, okay, great. Give me an explanation about a contactor. And once again, technician gave me a long-winded answer about what a contactor is and what it does. And I said, let's just stop right here. I'm going to share with you, you're losing people from saying way too much. And he says, Scott, I had a guy show up at a company that I work with and tell us that, these are all the ways we should explain things. And I said, hey, we've known each other for a really long time. Let's go back to the initial training that I gave you a long time ago, and let's go backwards. Okay. So the reason I bring this up is it doesn't matter the stage of where you're at in your tech life. You could be in the beginning, you could be in the middle, you could be towards the end. Someone could throw you off. Someone could give you a piece of advice that is very bad and is not good. That's no bueno, as they say down south, right? And so you should have a set, defined explanation memorized of what a part is, what it does, and what happens when it fails. And preferably, if you could do this in 5 sentences or less, you're going to be fantastic. Okay, you'll close deals. If you are struggling right now today, I would say is probably the way that you're explaining the issue with the system. You're either going way too fast and you're not giving enough, or you're going way too long. And the way that you know is if you're beyond 3 to 5 sentences. Like that's it. 3 to 5 sentences. That's all you got for each part, right? So if there was a number, the number shall be 3 to 5, right? That will make it really easy for you to memorize what you can say and what you can do. And this right here is why you should go to HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. So you say, Scott, how do I make this work? How do I go 3 to 5 sentences? I would say this is really straightforward. Go to your favorite document source. It could be Word. It could be, I don't know what Apple's version is, Notepad. And just type what you think a part is. And this is not hard to do. You take your phone and you get a recording app and then you transcribe what you think that a part is. Now, these are all things that I have defined. And at some point, I will release them. If people ask for it enough, I will give it. Or if you're on the email publication, right? Yeah. So you have to get really good at explaining content. Really good at explaining what a part is, what it does, and what happens when it fails in a way that makes sense. And what you're going to want to do is record yourself. What you're going to want to do is go back and listen and go, does that make sense? What you could do is take that recording and go say, hey, take it to somebody who is not in heating and air and say, hey, would you mind listening to this and tell me if it makes sense? And if you take it to 3 or 5 people, they're like, I have no idea what you're saying. The obfuscation of the vertical phase of the like short, simple words, right? You don't want to talk down to people. You don't want to pretend that they're dumb, but you just want to be straightforward and to the point. Here's the part. Here's what it does. Here's what happens if it fails. And if you can get this to 3 to 5 sentences, most of the time, 99% of the time, you're going to get better at selling parts. You're going to get better at add-on sales where appropriate, where all of this is appropriate. Don't lie, cheat, and steal, okay? And you can have some fun with it. You could be a better technician just by communicating better. And I'll share with you, there's a second element of where this comes from. I've got family members, and a lot of them have ADD, and I am very linear, so I get lost, right? I'll get on a conversation with them and like, why is there a bear in the jungle walking on hot coals in a pink tutu juggling chainsaws? I have no idea what you just told me. And if you're talking to like a part of the population that listens, they are going to go, I have no idea what you just said. Be aware that it's super importante for you to make sure that you're explaining things in a way that matters. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here, just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.